Good afternoon, this is Good Medicine. I have a little mini lesson for you. Just a story, a historical story that came to mind. And I thought it would be quick enough to kind of give you some quick medicine. Sometimes being right, sometimes the truth is inconsequential. When American troops were fleeing Vietnam after the fall of Saigon in the Vietnam War, it was just an event that nobody could really wrap their heads around. The world couldn't believe what they were seeing. These just Vietnamese, these Viet Cong overrunning a military superpower. And negotiations ensue, obviously. And you have these American generals that are sitting across the table from these Viet Cong generals. And the Vietnamese generals start to kind of go over their terms. They say, I want this, and I want that, and I want this, and I want that. Finally, the American general, probably feeling his hubris kind of boil, says, who are you talking to? Are you me? I am America. I am a superpower of the world. I have the strongest military at my back. And you, Viet Cong guy that was just running around a jungle with an AK-47, you are dictating terms to me. You never won a battle. I won every single battle throughout the entire duration of the war. The Tet Offensive, which is typically thought as being the Viet Cong's big victory, that has sacrificed 10,000 Viet Cong to kill 500 American troops. And he's bringing these stats up and he's saying, you didn't win. You didn't win anything. I won everything. And he sits silently and listens and he watches. He uses his two eyes and his two ears and his one mouth accordingly. And when the American general's done going on his big tirade, he says, while what you say is true, it is also inconsequential. It doesn't matter. Because here we are, me sitting across from you, you the loser, and me the winner. Because the Americans didn't understand the game. And those lowly people called the Viet Cong running around the jungle with their AK-47s and their funny hats, they understood the game. They were getting 14-year-olds to get tattoos that said, born in the North to die in the South. They were getting the population to be complicit and compliant in fighting the imperialist oppression. And most of all, they understood that the war was not being fought in the jungle. The war was being fought on television sets all throughout America. The Viet Cong got that, the Americans didn't. They won. And the truth of the fact that America never lost a single battle is inconsequential. Doesn't matter. Because we lost. We lost at home. You know, something like 17% of all casualties from the Vietnam War were due to booby traps. And it was always kind of viewed as being like a pansy move, like, oh, your booby trap got me, but doesn't matter. Take hubris out of it. Take ego out of it. Was it effective? Yes. Because every time that booby trap killed a U.S. troop that was conscripted to fight a war they probably didn't want to be fighting, it loosened the fabric of American society. It lessened the resolve that America had. It made the average American citizen question their motives and why they were doing what they were doing and why their son or nephew or daughter just died in some foreign war in some foreign jungle because they went to pick up a map and a bomb went off. Didn't make a whole lot of sense. The Viet Cong understood this better than anyone. Go ask a relative of yours at random, an older relative, somebody that might have been alive during the Vietnam War and after, hopefully after, if they're still alive today, and say, what do you remember about the Vietnam War? Like, does anything pop into your head? And I promise you, at least one of the people that you ask will say, you know, now that you mention it, this image does pop into my head. It's this image of this little Vietnamese girl, and she's running around. She's running down the street, and she's got no clothes on because the Americans had just dropped napalm all over her village. And I don't know if her clothes burnt off or she didn't have time to put them on or what the case may be, but she was crying and she was scared. And it was not a pleasant image to look at. Didn't like it very much. That's important. Again, the truth doesn't always matter. A lot of times how you feel about something matters. And this is something that conservatives just don't wrap their head around well. Feelings matter immensely. Sometimes they're all that matter. Think about all the people you know. And I promise you, the primary thing that you will remember about them is how they make you feel. That's the medicine they will provide you. Did they make you feel good about yourself? Did they make you feel bad about yourself? Did they make you feel indifferent? Did they make you not feel at all? They left no mark on you at all. Forgot their name because they weren't that important. The way they made you feel wasn't good medicine. So, remember, sometimes the truth, as the Vietnamese general says, is inconsequential. It's good medicine.